4 years ago today. 4 years ago today was the day that Chris Brockman and I strolled out of the home of the Minnesota Vikings in 0-degree temperature, and Brockman had just watched his Patriots lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 52.
52.
4 years ago, Super Bowl 52. And the Philly special and Doug Pederson and all of that stuff, and Zach Ertz in the end zone and was that a catch and a fumble and what all that sort of business, and
Corey Clement,
right? And then the ball in the air, Brady going to Gronk and a Hail Mary that the Patriots had a shot.
Brandon Graham after he forced a fumble.
Right, Michigan
Brady,
on Michigan violence.
Yeah, and then ball in air, you're like, is Gronk really going to catch this? It's like,
yeah,
so close.
It was unbelievable. And Brockman wearing a Red Sox hat to the Commissioner Roger Goodell's suite. You know, all
he wears that everywhere, though.
So
literally, I'm pacing around in the fourth quarter, and Roger looks at me and goes, "You all right?" And I'm like, no, Mr. Goodell, I am not all right. Let me go bother Steve Young some more.
It. You did not call him Mr. Goodell. You called him Raj, right? Or something. So, at any rate, the reason why we bring this up is there's no way, as people were, trying to climb a greased telephone pole in Philadelphia that night, there's no way that you would see the headline coming 4 years later. And the headline being Doug Pederson accepts job to be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's in his hands the career of Trevor Lawrence that's been placed. Who would have saw that one coming, as he had a year-long sabbatical because the Eagles fired him 2 years after winning the Super Bowl.
Stupid.
Fired him. See ya. And he's out in some weird game 256 scenario where Jalen Hurts is benched, and we still won't ever know, I don't think, what's going on. And Pederson, number of times where he was given an opportunity to let everyone know and open the window and say what was going on with Carson Wentz and what was going on with everybody else there. And he didn't say a word, which you have to do to make sure you get another job. And guess what he's done? He's gotten another job. And I thought the best fit for this gig was Byron Leftwich. I thought this was the best fit for this job. A guy who played quarterback in this town, a hometown guy, if you will, coming back and taking the job, and it's his first job in the NFL at the HC position, and it's his job to try and bring his knowledge institutionally and professionally, and fresh off of 2 years with Tom Brady being on the other side of his headset. Kind of made sense from the get-go, but for whatever reason, 35 days after he was first interviewed for the job in Jacksonville, Doug Pederson is named the head coach. They interviewed 9 different people for this position, from Leftwich all the way to Bill O'Brien, with the current coach of the Bears, Matt Eberflus, being one of the guys. So, look, what Doug Pederson brings to the table is some knowledge of playing the position himself, being a guy that's been there and done that from successful offensive coordinating in Kansas City before going to the crucible of Philadelphia and winning a Super Bowl there. And interestingly enough, what he also brings to the table is he will definitely 100%, and this, I can guarantee you this, he will 100% be on the team plane flying home with the team. And he will not kick his kicker. He will not reach out to somebody he coached in college and say, come on in and try out for us. He will not do anything that Urban Meyer did. And he'll serve ice cream on Saturday nights, and he will absolutely be a pleasure to be around. So when you hire somebody in the NFL, you want to go opposite of what you've just done. And to me, in terms of experience, in terms of NFL experience, in terms of not being an a-hole, in terms of being on a team plane coming home. He will never, ever kick his kicker and ask that kicker the next day, when are you going to put a smile on that face?
Can you never say never, though?
I can definitely say never, but never.
Can you believe that happened? Allegedly.
Never say never, but
Thank
never.
you, Coach Tomlin. That's the truth. So, and that's now one less position open, filled by somebody who is not a coach of color. And the pressure keeps building. And the lawsuit that Brian Flores has filed keeps on getting stronger. These are facts. You can say it is not anything that the Khan family did to bolster a case that this is a racial decision. Honestly, they went ahead and hired somebody who's won a Super Bowl. He is highly qualified for this job, eminently qualified for this job. No question about all of that. But I'm just shooting you straight. It's yet another position where we're one step closer to all of these positions being filled, and there is still just 3 minority head coaches. First with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, and then, as we all know, the first Muslim head coach in my head coach with the New York Jets in Robert Saleh, and then Ron Rivera of Hispanic descent, to use, I guess, the words there. So just got to keep focusing on this and see what happens over the next couple of weeks. And congratulate Doug Pederson, who sat around, man. I remember we zoomed with him after he was fired by the Eagles. A couple of weeks after he was fired by the Eagles, he was zooming in from his parents' home, getting ready to help his son go through his pro day.
All right, yeah.
Now he's going to be at pro days as the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it is the golden ticket. Trevor Lawrence. That's the answer. Trevor Lawrence. How will he fare with Trevor Lawrence? I can hear the Eagles fans say, I hope it's better than what he did with Carson Wentz. Don't forget when Carson Wentz dove headfirst in Los Angeles at the LA Coliseum in their Super Bowl year, he was the front runner for MVP.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't Doug's fault.
That he decides to always jump in with his head first and leave his knee open for, by the way, Aaron Donald to hit.
That'll break some knees.
Yeah,
And so Nick Foles comes in, and we all know the magic carpet ride ensued, and Frank Reich and so many others. Matt Eberflus from Frank Reich. There is a Pederson tree in a way. And so they'll just take the tree itself and hand off the reins to Doug Pederson. And what, without a doubt, Trevor Lawrence is going to get is a guy who will be sitting there attached at his hip with a plan, being the one to personally implement the plan with a bunch of people around who know how to implement the plan because they're all on the same page, and none of them will have just come out of a meeting where they have been asked to defend their resumes because they're losers and he's a winner. I can't keep on returning to this.
I can't believe that happened.
Because it is
Allegedly.
truly mind-blowing what happened and how Pederson will be the exact opposite of it. Mm-hmm. And if somebody fumbles and they're taken out of the game, Trevor Lawrence will not have to go up to Doug Pederson and say, where is our best running back? Can we put him back in the game? Like, these things will not happen. And I know Doug Pederson benched Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter and has a history of some odd benchings, but we all know what Doug Pederson is and who he stands for and how he is the exact opposite of what Jacksonville just had. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.